Welcome to this tutorial on Yawp. Yawp is a simple framework for creating APIs. So in this tutorial we're going to create a simple app called Tungsten, and this is going to be part 1 of this tutorial. So the first thing we'll do is use the generator to generate the scaffold. So we can use Maven archetype generate to generate the scaffold for the app. I've called it Tungsten, and I'm basically following the steps on the guide under tutorials here, but I've modified the steps just a little bit for the purpose of this tutorial. So if you want to follow along with my steps, you can check the readme, and for the actual steps you can follow this guide. So once you have the scaffold, it'll say build success. You can see Tungsten, and it shows you the source files that are generated, which right now it's empty, but we're going to get to that. So I can close out these old files. Yeah, so I have a readme right now, and now I'm going to create a model called actually let me start the web server first. So I'm going to use the Yawp dev server command to start the web server, and I'm going to do it in this tab of the terminal, because I can keep that running and then I can use this for using the CLI. So once the web server has started off, you should be able to open port 8080, port 8080, and let's see. Yes, so it's almost there. Yeah, now it's running, so I can open port 8080. Right now I don't have an API yet, so I can just open 8080/API. So this is actually showing me the old data, but now if I refresh it, it's showed me welcome to Yawp. So now I'm going to create a model called task. So just copy this command and change your tab to the Tungsten tab and say Yawp endpoint -d model equals task. It should create the task model. It's building. It's scaffolding the task. So it created these 3 files, and if we go back to our API on the browser and say /tasks, it said endpoint not found, which means we have to restart the web server. So let's restart. Normally it should hot swap the change, but I guess that's not completely working yet. I'm sure there's a issue on GitHub for that. So once it starts up, we should have a endpoint called tasks. Let's wait for it. Still starting in the background. Almost there. Yeah, it's started. Should be started now. Yeah, So now it has the tasks endpoint, but it's an empty array that's being returned. So to populate this endpoint with some data, we can just use curl to do a post. So we can populate some data here. Now here you'll notice that I created a title and description, an object with title and description, but in our API we don't exactly have a title and description in our task.java yet. So what we'll do is we can add that to our model. So as described here, we can add a title to our model in task.java, and we can add description to our model. And might be a good idea to restart the endpoint after changing the model. So it says here that every endpoint should have only one ID attribute, and it should also be of type ID ref arrow t, ID ref generic t. So let's refresh. And there you have it. It has one task, so we can add some more tasks. Let's add some more tasks with the same content, and we'll refresh this tasks, and now there's 3 tasks in there. So thanks for watching. We'll continue in the next part of this series. Thanks.